Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the subject of don't stop talking to your market, your consumers, and ultimately your clients. So in essence, that means don't stop marketing. And today, in honor of COVID-19, I'm wearing my response t-shirt. So any of you that have been in the military know what this t-shirt means. I think we're kind of in that moment. It was probably our most popular radio call, both during training and in actual operations. So anyway, let's jump right into that topic. I think it's incredibly important, having been through several crises as a business leader, and in a lot of those cases, I was actually in a marketing position. It is so important not to stop talking to your market, not to stop your marketing efforts. In fact, it's probably a point in time when you should actually ramp up what you're doing as it relates to marketing, because that is communicating to that customer, to the customers, telling them the kind of the state and status of your business operations, and making sure that you're solidifying trust and loyalty for the long term. Because as with any crisis, we will move through this. This, in some senses, has a lot more predictability with it. We have some models specific to what's going on with COVID-19 that we know that this is about a month cycle or so, and that model has kind of held true across China, South Korea, and now beginning to materialize even in Italy, where things were just incredibly catastrophic. But all that's to say that this will have a finite time, and so how you respond in this moment in crisis will not only define you when we return to a sense of normalcy, but it will make you stronger, and in a lot of cases consumers and clients will remember that, and it will reinforce those relationships as well. So that's just kind of the high level, in part on you to continue that effort. So then, of course, the natural question is, what does that look like? And so I just want to do a very quick sort of tactical marketing mix set of recommendations. First and foremost, email marketing is your first move in this situation. Hopefully you already have a list, and even if you don't have kind of an active list, you probably have a bunch of client emails sitting in some database. I would recommend two things in this regard. If you have a list, start using that in order to communicate with your customers. Don't necessarily increase the frequency, but certainly change the approach. And don't be, I've said this before in a couple of different videos and some articles that I've written, pause your marketing automation. That sounds kind of tone deaf when that kind of goes out as it routinely has, and instead start to tailor make your content and the emails that are going out. If that's a brand new list and you haven't communicated before, of course, do that in a gentle and a very helpful, value-based way, and sort of think through those messages. Really take the time with your team, remotely, hopefully, everybody's working from home. Think through, what is your consumer's mindset right now? What are they thinking about? What are they worried about? And how does that relate to your business? And try to shift your communications into that mode so that it sounds and there's a relevancy there when we get those communications. If you don't have any list, this is a great opportunity to start building in that network, encouraging people to opt in, lowering the friction on your website to acquire those emails and even text messages, which are super popular. A lot of consumers are going to want to be connected to a variety of different businesses, depending, of course, on what you do. So encourage that and start to build that connectivity and just offer that as an opportunity, even if it's as simple as just publishing your email addresses so that they can email you questions with less and less friction. And then, of course, you can turn that into a more repeatable process as you go. But don't worry about scaling right now. Just start communicating is the first kind of step there. And email is a great way to do that. Text messaging, if you have the capability, is also an excellent way to do that. Produce content, and this I can't emphasize this enough. You want to, and we even have increased our content. People are sitting around bored, they're consuming news and information, they're looking for new and creative things to consume. And so really this is an opportunity for you to get your creative juices flowing and up the amount of content that you're producing. Do new things, try new channels, try different modes of communication, try out social media if you haven't done that, try out video if you haven't done that, but just produce more and more content. It doesn't have to be polished. In this environment, there's a lot of things. You can even look at the news. I've got CNBC on the background. They're working from home, and it's just been amazing to me to just kind of watch how amateurish, but how quickly they were able to evolve the production quality. I mean, the sound and audio, as well as video quality, lighting, everything was horrible at first, and they're rapidly kind of learning through that. So even the big boys are struggling with that. So don't worry about the polish at this moment. Just get more and more interesting and creative content out into the market. Educate and inform. And like I said, try something different. Develop a new channel. Start a blog. Start your social media. Do some video. And then last but not least, of course, we are a digital agency, and if you need our help, you can just reach out to kaleidaco.com. We'd be happy to support you, and of course, I will consult with anybody. But the importance of kind of that statement is most of you who are CMOs and marketing directors, you already have an agency. So it is incredibly important for you to leverage that asset and that resource. Agencies, your agency included, they're professionals. They're professional communicators, they're professional marketers, they're professional creatives. And so often we've got into this mode where we're just using that agency in a sort of a routine way, probably not using them for as much of their creative talent that exists there. And we've kind of moved into a marketing operations mode where we're just kind of doing things. I would hopefully your agency is already reaching out to you and proactively talking to you about crisis communications, about sort of clever and proactive ways that they can help you. But if not, ask them. They are again a resource of creativity. Ask them to shift that retainer into a crisis mode, and ask them to come up with creative campaigns, come up with new and creative ways to do and support you with content. Have them come up with more efficient ways to shift those marketing operations into supporting this crisis. So in our case, with lenders, rates are whipsawing right now. So whereas before we were doing email marketing and content and we were building websites, a lot of that effort now is shifting into coming up with strategies to help them manage the volatility in their pipelines, to manage and refine the email marketing that's going on and the messaging so that it's relevant and not just kind of repetitive. We're producing very targeted and specific content around borrowers and homeowners' questions as it relates to COVID. What's the government doing? How is this affecting us? What are rates doing? How is the mortgage market going to be affected by all that? That's new and different content that we're creating right now for mortgage lenders. So make sure that you're leveraging the agency for that creativity, and really you're working on two fronts. One, addressing the current situation, but also proactively positioning yourself for what will be the new normal. Having been through these crises, I can tell you some things will change temporarily. A lot of things will change forever. So hopefully this helps you. As always, subscribe and follow. Reach out to me. I'm proactively trying to have conversations with people through Twitter and those sorts of things, and even reaching out through Zoom meetings and a variety of other ways. So anyway, stay connected, stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home. We'll talk to you tomorrow.